Well, we haven't done this in a bit. Hello, hi, hello, yalai, tis me, tis I. Small time Didi, you're Khadi on the internet, and I am back, you guys. Oh my god, it's been a week. Yalla, listen, we are self-employed over here. The hours get funny, okay? Sometimes I can't sit and have chats with you guys, even though that's what I really want to do. So it's Monday, I'm only getting to sit down now and chat to you all about the Real Housewives of Durban. Episode 9, Season 3, let's just get into it so that we don't stay down here too long. I'm on here, the internet, or mama's internet, okay? Great. We are at the dinner. We pick up where we left off at the dinner, the Last Supper, if you would like. They keep referring to these things as the Last Supper. They've had one too many Last Suppers. Like, what does last mean? Okay. We're at the dinner table. Okay, we're back at the dinner table where we left off. You know, from the outside looking in, it looks like they're ganging up on Nonko. Like, and there was a point where I was like, this feels like a gang up. Then I had to be like, is it? I mean, okay, we're aware that Nonko is not my cup of tea. Like, if you're new here, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe, all of that nice stuff. Let your people know about me. We're trying to grow this channel. Let's get me to 300, please. But if you're new here, Nonko's not my cup of tea, right? So I constantly have to check in with my better self. Is this your opinion of Nonko clouding your judgment? Like, or is she just actually not being ganged up on? It feels like a gang up because obviously she came to war though. I feel like she came to the table and was prepared to pia with everybody. They're sitting back at the table. This is after Jojo has left now, and she has she's like, this is the saddest day of her life. She did her back and forth with Annie, and she's there to defend Jojo to the death, to such a degree that she can't even hear what anybody's saying. She's in fight mode. So when she's done with this person, she guns for this one. Nobody actually comes for her. If you pay attention, she's the one who starts to, like, you know, unpack whatever grievance she has with this individual. And then when that starts to get muddy and she doesn't want to deal with it anymore, she attacks the next person. So is it a gang up when you're the one initiating the beefs at the table and everybody's just trying to take care of themselves in the situation? Like, are you really being, it would be a gang up if, because at the moment at the table, Ruan is quiet, yes, but we know he's Team Jojo. Maria is a fucking flip-flopper, but like, she has to be Team Jojo because what the fuck you look like, coming onto the show, being brought on by this girl, and then you jump ship. You must be Team Jojo. Also because she believes this isn't who Jojo is. This is like, Nonko's influence, which I believe is just fucking ridiculous. How is this Nonko's influence? They are just the way they are, the two of them, and them together makes this concoction that none of us deserve. Like, nobody is really any more an influence on the other. They are ditzy and they do ditz shit together. Like, what is the confusion? But anyway, she goes at Sarisha explains, because Sane was lying at the table, saying that she explained to Sarisha what happened, which she did. This part isn't a lie, but she lies about so much, we may as well just call everything she does a lie, right? Sarisha, what the fuck is going on with you? What did you hear Sane say? Because they got the footages. They ran us the footages. And in the footages, Sane says, no, I did say it, but that's not how I meant it. But then Sarisha in the footages, okay, the flashback says, also, you did say it. No. This isn't the stance that Soso takes here. Soso says, no, that's not what she said. She was saying this and then somebody else chimed in between you and Jojo. They're not trying to pin this on Joe. Joe wasn't even actually saying anything at that particular lunch. She just sat there and let it happen. I don't recall her defending Annie either. But she didn't really chime in or say anything of that nature. So this is a lie. Sarisha is doing nothing to put Annie at ease. And this is obviously now gonna grow tensions between Annie and Jojo. Like, if we're really friends, like we're really bitches and we're down for each other like that, are you really talking about me like that? And how she's moved here, I mean, this has left Annie feeling like in the confessionals, she says, you know what, you guys, Annie's in a cage in the intro. I wanted to not, like, I don't know how I've not been seeing it. Like, I've not been seeing it all this while. And then yesterday, I'm just watching the thing and I'm like, hypo, you in a cage, girl, but we can't talk about the cage that you were in, that man got you out of. Like, okay, girl. Okay, the point is, Annie in the confessional is like, yeah, now I don't know how to feel. Like, I feel like Jojo could have chimed in and said this. I can't even trust what anybody's saying anymore because look at how she's acting now. Fine, that's what happens. The Nonko, yo guys, Slee in this whole scene when people are talking, she is Miss Ad-Libs. Like, she's in the background. Yes, God. Preach, yes. I think she feels vindicated, but she also feels like, you know what? It's about time you got a taste of your own medicine, because on multiple occasions, you've shown up with Jojo with an agenda, and the two of you have actually ganged up on Slee. The two of you have actually come with your minds made up under the guise of trying to work through issues, but you just end up going at her, right? So she knows what this feels like, and I feel like in that moment, she's like, well, bitch, it's your turn now. It is your turn, and it sure feels good, and I don't blame her. Nonko says to Annie, oh no, when they're doing this back and forth in the confessionals, Nonko, who can't find her words, and we never know with her if it's just an issue of she can't find her words right now or if she's had a drink. Like, we never know what's going on. But she has the nerve to say about Annie, oh, Annie's so pathetic. She's that drunk girl the husband picks up like at Groove, and she's sloppy drunk waddling about the place. Meantime, whole time, you were the one at the last supper, at the supper before this one, where you were slurring your words. Like, who is calling who what? Like, the confusion. I can't do it. Okay, Nonko starts at Maria now. Oh, I've learned that do you understand? So Maria is taking in new information about, oh, this was said, oh, this was said. Then she guns for her. And then you were also saying that she could have waited to have a private moment with Maria, but she chose to have it at the table. So Maria's not defending herself, and then it looks like because I'm not recording this days later, close to a week later. So I'm seeing the responses online. I try to avoid them because I want to sit down and have my own chat with you all. But I'm seeing them and I'm like, no, I don't know if this lady was being ganged up on, or if she went to war and she waged war with everybody. What are people supposed to just like lie down and take it? Like, nah, no. But anyway, that's the end of the trip. I'm sad that we didn't get to see how people traveled back. We don't know who flew back, who drove back. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. Annie goes shopping with her sister, and she tells her basically just what happened, and she feels like she doesn't even know if she cares to hear Annie out for an apology anymore, because if it's taken this long for Annie to reach out, how much does she really value being in community with her? They go shopping. She tries on some like shimmy dresses. She gets on a little podium thing and does a little shimmy. Very back to her roots, less the cage. It's quite nice. I liked it. Nice little cute scene. Nonko is having a swim, and she says it's a hot day, and Sarisha stops by to see her. Sarisha is not dressed for the heat that Nonko is experiencing, so I don't know what the fuck is happening. Hence why I'm saying, can somebody give me the bleaching storyline? I'm not insinuating nothing. I'm just saying it's a bit covered up for this weather that has Nonko in the pool, and I believe Nonko. It looks fucking hot. And obviously my girl has like a glass of bubbles in the water. And, you know, she keeps comparing herself, not comparing rather, but she keeps saying that she feels like she understands what Jesus went through when he was being crucified, with everybody just like chanting and yelling and saying, you know, to crucify him and stuff, because she felt like she was really like sent to the slaughter. No, babe, I don't think you were. I don't think you were sent to the thingy. The only part at that dinner where I felt like, what the fuck, is obviously Sane. Sane knows what the fuck she's doing. Everybody else, nah. Also, I don't think Jojo would bat for you this hard. Jojo would never go up for anybody this hard. Jojo flees actually when things get tough. So the fact that you're going this hard, and Sane said at the table, you know what? You can't seem to see that this one person, because you are literally at loggerheads or not, like at difference with people over this individual, but you're not seeing it. Like, there's a way to take up for your mate without alienating like the rest of the group, or without like having yourself on the outs, because you are literally now out in the cold out of your friendship with Jojo. Like, there's being loyal and then there's being stupid. Like, yeah, be loyal to a fault. I'm really a ride or die kind of friend. Like, I really ride for my friends and stuff, but like, I'm interested in their growth. So where they're moving mad, I can't just ride for you and not be like, yo, but how are you moving is madness a little bit. Like, do you understand? But you need to figure out, is this the kind of friend that I call out in the moment? Or is this the kind of friend where, let me let this ride out here, let me not embarrass her, then I'll give her a call when we get home that you're afraid. Like, I understand you were heated, but you were kind of wrong. Like, how you were moving there was kind of madness. One of my friends is doing this thing the last year. It's failing so bad. It's bitch. It's failing. It's failing because we feel the same. Yeah. She does this thing where we've been friends for too long, right? We've been friends for too long, so she thinks, honestly, she fucking thinks that she's catching strays. You ain't catching strays, bitch. She thinks she's catching strays, like, oh, you just say stuff, Didi, and then when people are mad at you, they mad at me as an extension. I'm like, no, bitch. It's because you were standing at the back of me and your body language was in agreement. Like, no amount of you opening your mouth and saying, oh, I disagree with what Didi is saying while doing, like, girl, no. You're not catching strays, girl. We feel the same about a lot of things. That's why you catch strays. Like, go what? But like, she's doing this thing where she's trying to like distance herself from my controversial ways. It's not working. It's not working because like we've been a pair for too long. Yes. So she's trying to like distance herself from my, like when I do something controversial and people call her, oh, do you agree with what your friend just said? And she has to like put distance. It's not working. So like, but like, I understand because now she feels like she didn't verbalize it. There's no need, like, why is she catching so much blowback? But like, that's not what's happening with Noko. Noko is not trying to avoid the strays, unlike my friend. She's not avoiding, she wants to be in the mix of it all and stuff. And oh my God, guys, am I JoJo? No, I'm not JoJo. Let me tell you, I'm recording. Let me tell you guys why I'm not JoJo. I don't run away. I'm a stand in my shit kind of bitch. Like, you understand? Like, we're gonna have to see it through. Because most of the time, I mean what I say and I say what I mean. So seeing it through is not a challenge. I'm a person of conviction. I am a person, I apologize quite a lot actually. People may not believe that. I think I apologize more to the people I love. I don't know about perfect strangers, but like, I do when I'm wrong. But like, the thing is, with Jojo and Nonko, they're not very bright. So they do things without like much thought on account of, I don't know, they have the capacity to run things through properly before doing or saying. And so when it comes to like that tantrum, if I was to lose my cool like that, I know fucking good and goddamn well I need to make amends in the morning. I'm having the staff at the lodge do some fucking, you know, room service shit, going door to door, apologizing to each individual because I fucking know how to apologize, and this is a group of people that I care about. Jojo just fled. That's why Jojo and I are different, right? I might start some shit, but I'll always stand in my shit. That's Didi. Now y'all know. Okay, I got sidetracked there, but where are we? Yes, Sorisha goes over to see Nonko, and then Nonko tells her that, I felt like I'm not saying I'm like Jesus. And then Sorisha, to a degree you are. Like, bitch, what? Like, guys, Sorisha is so passive with Nonko. Has anybody picked up? Like, Sorisha has, I think she feels the same way I feel. I'm thinking, okay? I'm not saying I know how this woman feels. Watch her pick her words when she's communicating with Nonko. She tries to find the most simple terms to explain very complicated situations because she's aware Nonko needs things cut into little bits and pieces to digest. That kind of friendship would exhaust me because she won't communicate with Annie like that. She'll just use whatever word. Like, diction is not an issue for Sorisha, clearly, right? So she will just use the correct words to communicate the situation, her feelings or whatever. With Nonko, I find her it's an analogy, it's trying to find a smaller term for this and she also, fine, Nonko was in the pool and she was outside, but her posture, it happens a lot. Go look at the moments where she's trying to explain things to Nonko. She knows she's talking to somebody who stopped developing at some point. And you almost have to speak to her like a young woman who's just coming into herself and still trying to figure things out, because this person, it makes a lot of sense when you think of the abuse she endured. Things like that will stunt your growth, right? You're in survival mode. You don't have time to develop all manner of other skills and things like that. And these two, that's why they get along so much. They are literally both, whatever age that is that they stop developing at, they at the same age, Nonko and Jojo. Listen to the language that Sorisha is using with Nonko. Nonko then says that she read her Bible, which she didn't, because she didn't know the rest of the scripture. Sorisha had to finish that scripture for her. And then she's all in a confession. Many people quote the Bible, but like, do they believe? Girl, you believe and you can't tell us what's in the book. How's about that? And that's my other thing with Christians, right? Don't spend enough time with the readings. Don't spend enough time with the readings. You're up in the church screaming, oh yes, Papa, where's your fucking daddy? Where's your fucking dad? Like, oh guys, my first video on this channel was on fatherhood. It was on fatherhood and Father's Day and fathers running, or like I listed the different kinds of baby daddies. The channel is not that old. If you scroll down, you find it, okay? I listed the different kind of like deadbeat baby daddies because, wow, it's a chat, right? It's a valid chat. Now you guys are all up in the church calling people, yes, Papa, like, oh my God. Oh my God, guys, like find your dads, find your hadis, or something, because like, wow. Anyway, that's the other thing. I hate when Slee calls her mentor or whoever that is, I don't know, her spiritual father. If you notice, if you go back in the videos, I always call him a guide. I always call him a spiritual guide, because why do we always give people these parental titles, like these figures? Like, if you're gonna call God that, like your father in heaven, why are you taking such a serious term and giving it to like such flawed people? It's so bizarre to me. Like, I can't deal with it. Anyway, Nonko can't like tell us what the rest of the scripture says. And anyway, they finish up and Sorisha tries to make her realize, because she's like, what do you really think of me? And I believe Sorisha because I feel the same way about Nonko. I don't think she's malicious. I actually don't think I just think she's not bright. And I can't stomach non-bright women. Like, I make it a point to surround myself with women who are just bright, who have things to contribute, who have, communication and problem solving skills with none of this story. Like, no, right? I've been friends with some of my friends since I was a teenage girl, some even younger than that, right? And we've developed in similar fashions. So I know what I'm going to get. But with new people in adulthood that I take on, women that I include in my space, these two would not be allowed in my space. I'd go mad. I do not have the vocabulary to explain, and baby, that you see, Nonko, when you say this and you do this and this is what happens, and I feel like you're not hearing I have no patience for it. No, sorry. Sleep goes interior design shopping with her sister. She says she's new at this. These are the kind of industries where you must already be the wife of somebody. You don't just decide that you're interior designer. Even if you went to school for it, it's like these luxury-based industries are harder for people like us to navigate into, because we don't know people who need homes furnished. I don't know people who need their homes done, who call somebody in. You're going to CTM and you're picking your own tile. And then you're going to Pip Home and you're getting that side lamp if you need one. You're not getting an interior person to come in and look at the house and go to a perfume person to develop a scent for the house. You're not doing all of that. No. So I always find these spaces very, I feel the same about the chef industry as well. It's very hard to break into being a private chef, or get into private, into yacht chefing and things like that, and working on spaces. You already need to be the child of somebody who knows people who have yachts. And then they're gonna be like, oh no, Jonathan just graduated, and they're like, oh yeah, he can cook for us. We're gonna charter the thing and we're gonna do the thing and he can come cook for us, And then they're like, oh my god, he's worked so hard. Me chilling here in Limpopo in my tiny little township, I don't even know nobody with a fucking speedboat. But anyway, that's not the point. She goes interior thingy with her sister, and then they start talking about, you guys, if I find the video on TikTok of the girl giving us the breakdown of that 6-year period where Slee was with that man and how she got with that man, if I find it, I will repost it on my TikTok. Same handle, Small Town Didi. So you guys can see, because Slee didn't crash, obviously. So maybe my judgment is clouded because crash. But I'm not gonna act like I understand what happened with that 6 years. I don't get it. She's now standing in the middle of the interior shop telling her sister, and she's like, oh, she's gosh, she's blushing, and she's in love with it. You see me, ne? How do you come out of this situation that you gave your life to this man for 6 years at the detriment of the relationship with your daughters because you were banking on, and her sister's like, no, it's fine to let your guard down, and she's like, yeah, I did let my guard down for 6 years, and look what happened. I don't think you let your guard down for 6 years. I think you bet on the wrong fucking horse. I think you put all your eggs in one basket and shit fucked out. I don't know if that's you letting your guard down more than it's you playing checkers and you got a little checkmate happen to you because this chess bitch okay, so she's not in love. I don't know why. I'm sorry, you guys. Friends have tried to explain to me, Didi, people need love. And yes, we do. I just posted a video on loneliness and stuff. But guys, the mistrust I have for men, I really feel raise your fucking kids. Quit living. And it's a beautiful woman problem. I think it's because there's so many suitors, there's people pursuing them all the time. Whereas a person like me, again, I'm in Limpopo, in a very small township where I know everybody and everybody knows everybody's business, and I don't go nowhere. Guys, I literally barely leave. I go on walks. Okay? I go on walks and I have headphones in because do not speak to me, public. What the hell? Why are you talking to me? I don't understand where people who've gone through what she went through find room to still be in love. La fola, ne? La fola shady. La fola, and then you head back out. No, you're just stupid. I'm sorry. Anyway, Mbali calls her while she's out with her sister, and Mbali's like, I want to stop by for a visit. We get no explanation as to where Mbali has been, and I fucking hate that. So Slee and Annie meet up at an I don't know, Lutita Calvin, Manawa Jojo, the people who fight and stuff, but it's very, it's choreo fighting, they meet up at the gym because they need to find the fighter whom they're gonna sponsor for this thing that Calvin is putting together. girl, I'm talking to you. You and I didn't think this thing was gonna happen. But then I was like, oh my God, but if it's a production thing, if it's a thing where they have to shoot, then it's gonna happen. But you were right, girl. Viv wasn't there. Okay, Sarisha, Slee, Annie meet up and they choose their fighter, and then they said, I don't like what their friendship is turning into. And it's as a result of the dynamic of the group. And that mean girl thing that everybody was talking about, I think it's unfair to use that terminology for what their friendship is, but there's a like-mindedness that's happening here. It gives off mean girl because they are capable, right? They have the right fighting words, they have the correct temperament, they are the two of them actually are married to very wealthy men, right? So they already have the upper hand. So it gives mean girl energy because they're going up against two people who like to start shit but don't have the muscle to see it through. But we don't want to talk about how Jojo and Nonko are shit starters and shit stirrers. What are they just supposed to take it in an effort to not be labeled mean girls? Do you understand? But they sit after they choose their fighter and they're talking about are we going to this thing? And Slee's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go to this thing, this, that, and the other. And then they're like, no, we can all go together and stuff. I don't like how she didn't hold her position. I mean, I don't like how she did not. Her and Jojo are trying to move forward. Yes, I understand. But the last time she saw her spiritual guide, he also told her to avoid being in these intense situations that her spirit doesn't agree with, and this, that, and the other. So it almost felt like she was being pushed to go. And fine, they said, you know what, we'll also not go with our spouses so that you don't feel, because she was like, people that were invited with their partners and I've been accused of flirting with the person who's putting this event together. I don't know how I feel. So then they were like, okay, we won't come with our spouses either. We'll go just the three of us and we'll be like each other's dates if you would like. And then, yeah, that's what happened. Maria and Ruan meet up at the gym and they pick their fighter as well. Maria is the ultimate enabler of Jojo because Ruan is like, did you speak to Jojo? And she's like, yeah, I didn't want to broach the conversation. I want to bring it up because I'm waiting for her to bring. No, bitch. If you're my friend and you fuck up, I'm calling you and asking, no, yeah, like, like that's literally how the chat is gonna go. I won't say Obiani. They won't be, hey girl, how you doing? They'll just be, no, Amy. Like that's but she's like, oh yeah, I've just been waiting to see if she brings it up and I didn't want to be the one to push. You're helping her avoid accountability. Guys, why is this moving today? And I'm not gonna allow. Mbali drops by to see Slee as agreed. She pops in with a bottle of wine. We learned that it's actually Nonko's brand. Nonko launched her wine last season, I think. They sit down, they get to chatting, and she's asking what's been happening. Slee's filling her in. And then she's like, yeah, because Nonko and I am getting along now. So Mbali's like, hi, bo. Because the last time Mbali was in scene with them, they were at Nonko's. And they were Nonko was telling them about Skara. And then they were both feeling like telling her, advising her to pace herself in this new relationship and stuff. So that's when Bali left them being friends or trying to still remain or sort through, I don't know. But so she's like, now I'm confused, like, y'all stop being friends and stuff. She's like, you know what, she's going around saying things about me, and if I were to say some of the things that she has been saying about other people, that would not be right and stuff. And then Bali's like, okay, what did she say? Galoko, we're probably like smiling with this girl and when we think everything is cool. Kanti, she's not even like, she doesn't like smack for that shit like that. And then she's like, no, before we met you or before she got to know you, she mentioned that you were giving her Mabusi vibes. And this upset Mbali. And people on the internet, again, I'm sitting down to record rather late. Some of you all are saying, oh, why did she get so mad? It means it has to do with how Yena self and Bali feels or views Mabusi. You guys will just do anything for Nonko, hey? Nonko's treatment of Mabusi lets us know how Nonko feels about Mabusi. And if she's going to look at another individual and say, you remind me of that person that I discarded off like used tissue, which is what she did to Mabusi, it's what she did. If I say you remind me of that person that I did not find any value in, or at least didn't treat them like they had any value, that's them telling you. It's not how Mbali feels. Mbali's like, fuck, like Mabusi got treated like that, and that's who you want to compare me to? How you treated that person says a lot about how you view and how you see them. That I understood her anger here, right? And Slee did mention though that this is before she got to be friends with you. I had no qualms with Slee being a little shit stirrer here on account of, isn't this the exact thing that Nonko did? Telling Jojo, oh, Slee didn't like you. But Slee didn't like Jojo based off what? Based off some things you were telling her about Jojo. Because you and Jojo went like based the bombers from the one. Y'all went based the bombers from jump. The bombering just happened. Just saying. Okay, great. They get, and then Mbali's getting agitated now. She stands up, she pours out the wine, like she runs the bottle down the drain and she pours it out. She goes back. She's now insulting her, calling Nonko a drunk, like, you know, she and you know what, when she said this, I realized it's also how I feel about Mbali. Mbali's like, you know what, I've just been sitting and observing her, and I felt like she's a sweet lady. She's just been through a lot. That's what I'm saying about her. I still don't want her in my space. She seems like a genuine sweet person. And also the other thing that stunts growth is religion. Religion has a nasty way of like, it shapes your thinking. Obviously, it informs your beliefs and your morals and how you approach life and things like that. And if you're too literal with it, it can really stunt you. It just can. And I honestly don't care about how anybody feels about this part. I said what I said. Okay. If like the reading that informs how you view the world is this one book that's been like fucked around with so many times by men, okay, but you steady believing that it's like, and that's all. That is really the reading you do. This is the thing that informs all your thinking, how you're gonna move, and you don't take on or take in any other things, and your skills to analyze things aren't all the way there. You're in danger, girl. Okay. Mbali says, what does she mean? I was giving Mabusi energy. Mbali's quite shady, guys. She's throwing a lot of insults. She's talking a lot about I don't know how I feel about Nonko's drinking, and it makes me a bit sad. I don't know if like having a wine was the best thing for a girl, because she seems to struggle in some scenes. I'm not saying she's an alcoholic. I'm just saying. So she ends up leaving Slee's home. She sits there and she starts getting agitated, and then she finally leaves. She's like, you know, just open up for me. I want to go. She leaves, and then in her confessional, she says, the longer I sat there, the more I was like, what was she saying when this was being said about me? Right? And I feel like a lot of people do this a lot now. Oh, why are people so comfortable to gossip about me with you? If we're friends, people just say what the fuck they want to say. Like, Sane said what she said. Jojo did not chime in. Jojo just sat there. So Jojo, like what? Like now we have to say, why was Sane so comfortable to say this? Maybe she just is a bitch that pops off at the mouth, and that's what she did. Because somebody was like to me, oh, if this person said this while you were there, what were you saying? Bitch, maybe I was minding my own business. Like, have you thought about that? Maybe I was just sitting there, and then this person who does not know how to be measured went off. And now I'm telling you what was said. It's not always that I created the environment for this person to feel comfortable. Other people don't need that comfort. But no papa vele. So, guys, Mbali also reminded us that her man is not a jailbird. Ooh! You guys know what I take great issue with? How platforms like Showmax, stations and stuff, the platforming of people, how irresponsible we are with who we choose to platform. The rumors online of the kind of offense that Nonko's now fiance or whatever he is, why he was behind bars, the charges and stuff, if they're anything to go by, I don't understand why Showmax would platform this man. I am confused. But hey, right? The day of the event, Maria arrives with her husband. We barely see his face. Like literally, she could have just like shown up with a cutout of him. It would have been the same thing. Ruan arrives shortly after. Mbali arrives. Guys, Mbali has legs for days. Have you guys realized though? Even in the scene where she goes to see Slee. Legs for days. Legs shown. Hey, okay. I'm not gonna sing a body. Yeah, sorry. Okay. She goes over. Mbali arrives with a friend next, and then Nonko arrives in her very low sports car with Skara. I need her to figure out how to get out of the car. I need you to practice. There needs to be an afternoon where you practice how to get out of the car in a way where you still look sexy. I know you're supposed to put your feet together, your legs out first, but we're a lot of girl, aren't we? You and I don't go, okay? Like we've got like our hips, it's a lot of girl to get out of that car and stuff, you know? She looks sexy. I can't tell if she's struggling to walk because it's too much dress that she has to hold up, or maybe the shoes, or maybe, you know, not gonna say it. But anyway, just go pay attention to that. She shows up, Noskara, to the event. Maria showed up with her husband for it. She shows up. She goes over to greet Mbali because she doesn't say, yo, Mbali is not having it. Mbali's just like, not dealing with it. So she's shocked now. She doesn't understand. Okay, we were fine the last time I saw this girl. She goes over to the table. She says to Skara, did you see that like Mbali snapped me? Like I was trying to greet her and stuff. So at some point Mbali then turns around and says, why are you, I don't understand why you're coming to greet me if you think I'm beneath you. Other people would feel like she's putting 20 and 10 right here, like she's doing too much. It's no. It's how you treated Mabusi. You did treat Mabusi like she was lower than you, like she was a throwaway thing. You literally, the treatment of Mabusi by Nonko is something that I just can't get over. I cannot forgive this behavior. That treatment, everything that Mbali said, that it translates. For me, I see the correlation. If you don't see it, do get your eyes checked because it's not a me problem. It's you. It's you. Okay. Fine. And then in the confessionals, she's like, oh, she also says to Skara, I don't know why Slee told her that because she remembers who she had the chat with. Slee told her that, but I feel like I also said it in a presence. You didn't say it in a presence. They roll the footages, they have the footages, they roll the tape, and they show us Nonko at Maria's house in the second episode or third or something. She waited for this lady to leave to go to the loo for her to say, oh, when she first came on, she was giving me, and then, you know, her little friend there, Jojo, saying it. Say it. She gave you my boosie vibes. And then they crack up, right? Maria joined in the cackle. The fuck is you cackling at, Maria? Do you know what my boosie vibes means? Everybody on the internet is confused about but you all are there with the cackles and the chuckles and shit. For what? Why are you guys laughing? What about Mabusi, right? We shouldn't forget, we must not forget, Jojo set up a whole lunch date to go sit this black woman down to ask her if her brands are for gazy. Right? Because her Calvin is buying her genuine, okay? Her Calvin is buying her real genuine shit, and it can't be that Mabusi can afford the same bag. So I must set up this lunch to go sit Mabusi. Why? Because we don't think you make as much as us. We don't think you belong in the circle because you're taxed. But the treatment of Mabusi, Jojo throwing at her drink, she would not do that to any other woman in the group. She didn't do it on purpose with Nonko. She was just like, you know, trying to be, what was she trying to be actually? That thing that she was trying to do. With Mabusi, it was on purpose. It was literally like, you're trash. You are a thing that I can chuck my drink on. No matter how heated she gets with Annie or Sarisha, she would never think it's appropriate to take a glass of whatever liquid that's in there and chuck it at that person. she would never. Why? Because of where she's placed them. But Mabusi was that person to do so. But like, Mbali is crazy to feel like you putting her in that space. And I'm not saying that's who Mabusi is. I'm saying that's how the group identified her. That's where the group put her. And now they want to act cute and coy like that's not what the fuck they did. Fuck out of my face. Okay. Fine. She said, and then no, you waited for her to leave. You didn't say it to her. You guys had a cute little laugh about it with Maria. Maria, who, by the way, at the dinner was called you evil witch. I don't understand how she be, because she called you a weed and now she's an evil witch. I don't know. Mbali keeps talking about fingers lips, guys. She keeps talking about, oh my God, am I blurry this whole time? Yo, guys, and she keeps talking about girl's lips, Maria's lips. But anyway, Annie, Slee and Sarisha, very powerful girls of them. They arrive, like Sarisha has 3 of her pugs are named after the Powerpuff Girls, and her tagline has Powerpuff Girl thing in like sugar spice and everything, whatever. They show up in power suits and stuff. I think it's juvenile. They look pretty and stuff, but I'm like, really, y'all called each other to coordinate fits? Like, y'all, let's show up in suits and look strong and like project strength and yawn. They get there. Now, this is not a cultural thing. I refuse to believe. If you get to a place and the room is full of people, do you not go up to the people and greet? I don't even fucking understand what happened here. Maria arrived first, they sat her in the first thing. Mbadi arrived, they sat her in the second thing. I can't tell if people exchanged any pleasantries there, were there any hellos or anything of that nature. I don't think that happened. But these 3 arrive and they just sit. They don't go over to say hi. They're cool with Maria. They're cool with Mbali. And then as they're sitting there, Sarisha, is that Mbali? Is that Mbali? Girl, get on the fuck up and go see if it's Mbali then. And say hi. How you walk into a room full of people and not go over and say hi? You guys were dead wrong for that. Anyway, they go down to the arena to watch the fights and stuff and the boxing and what have you. And then Annie calls. Annie calls from Jojo. Jojo calls Nonko from outside and she's like, oh, I'm here. First of all, the fact that the host wasn't there, this is her husband's event. And she wasn't there to receive. When I tell you about running away, I would be there. The hostess would, do you understand me? You understand? Locks to my ass. Boom. Hey girl, oh my God, that was a lot what I did there. Hey, was going through so much. So, do you like some champagne? Because that'll fix it. It will. Calls her, she goes outside, and then we will see what happens next week. But anyway, deflection, more deflection from Jojo is what we should all expect. That's it, Chella. Bye, Yella.